Thank you. I want Demetrius was not clapping for the record. That hurts. No, I'm kidding. Rich Davey, President of New York City Transit, delighted to be here in Queens.
Yes.
To celebrate our 50th station Re-NEW-vation, which we did a couple weeks ago, and to celebrate the crew. By the way, all the hard hats and orange vests you see around you are the people that are getting it done. I like to say I am merely a figurehead of this 47,000 person strong organization. It's these folks that are getting it done, and I am very grateful for that. So a few folks we're going to have say a few words, but the station renovation was an inspiration that we had last year when we said we have so much work happening in our system, track, signal, power, the kind of unsexy stuff, but that's so important to make sure we're moving our over 4 million customers a day. And in that, we were shutting down stations. So what were we doing in the stations? Well, the answer was not a whole lot. And so with a shutdown for 2, sometimes 3 days, we can do all sorts of work, as you can see. Yeah, maybe put a fresh cone of paint up, but also do some switch work, some track work, some signal work, and other things that just make the environment not only more safe and reliable, it's still a little shaky, but make it a place where our customers can feel safe for those hopefully brief minutes that are in our station as they get on great service. So this is a tremendous effort by the New York City Transit team that we are most grateful for. We will announce momentarily where the next 12 or so stations are going to be for the remainder of the year, but there are a few folks I want to thank who are around. Jim Compton, I'm just going to read this list because I don't know where you all are. So Jim Compton, Sheila Hudson, Dom Gallo, David Solomon, where are you? You know, I'll clap for them as we go through this. Lou Lanfair, Mike Moore, Amanda Crespo, Dorothy Rivera's here, Brenda. So look, there are so many folks who make this happen on a daily basis and on a weekend. I'm just grateful for the stations team, our track and maintenance away team. We really have a great team at New York City Transit. And speaking of a great team, the guy who runs the Subways team is our Senior Vice President of Subways. I'm going to turn it over to him, Demetrius Critchlow. Demetrius.
Thanks, Rich. Demetrius Critchlow, Senior Vice President of Subways. Today we celebrate the 50th Re-NEW-vation, which is amazing work. I mean, the hard work that went on by this team that I'm surrounded by, it just goes without words that, you know, how much they've done to provide customer service to our customers. Toward the end of 2022, we set on a mission to improve our customer satisfaction and the customer's experience at many different levels. One of them was being the actual look of the station so that customers can feel different when they enter a station. So this program was something new, inspired by the mind of Rich Davey, but we took advantage of the opportunities to have outages to utilize the resources to do that work. We got additional headcount, we put people to work, targeted the response. We looked at each individual outage to say what station should be done with that outage, what type of work we wanted to do, and what we ultimately wanted to accomplish at the end of it. That might seem simple at first, but it was organized and it was intentional. The intentionality is what caused us to be able to bring things to fruition. And it's not just about, you know, what can we get done as things break down, but an intentional effort to make the system better. When I took over the helm of Subways, we knew that the facilities group needed to be formed. So we restructured Subways to be able to have an organization that could focus on a holistic look of what needs to be prioritized within the system. That was the brainchild that started a lot of the work within stations, and then with the leadership of Rich and some of these great workers, we were able to get some great stuff done. The goals were ambitious, and the hard work of teams, including Dave, Jim, and again, the leadership of Rich. When you think of the nearly 500 stations that we have, and you say, well, where are we? This is 50 stations, right? Seems like we have a ways to go. But I think the important thing to note is it means that we're listening. You've told us what the challenges are, you've told us the locations that you have problems with, and we're listening to what you have to say. So please continue to give us feedback on what we could be doing to make things better, to make customer satisfaction better, because that's our goal, to make our customers happier. And while there's much more to accomplish, I think it's important for us to pause for a second to appreciate the good, and here's to the next 50. Thank you all.
Nice. At least the next 50, I love it. Demetrius and I were just at a national transit conference over the last couple of days, and the word there is fiscal cliff. We don't have the money. Our legislature, I love it. Customer service first, speeches later. The consequences of having a lot of work done on the 7 line, by the way, the investment. But that's my point. Investment is happening not in enough places around the United States, but it's happening in New York because of the leadership of elected officials, the governor, the legislature, the borough president who's been pushing hard about transit. I love working here. You all know I'm a Bostonian by birth, but I love working in a place where elected officials know intuitively, they get it, that public transportation is so important to the lifeblood of this city and to what we're trying to do. So first I want to bring up Queens Borough President Mark Donovan to say a few words, and then we'll go to the Assembly members. So Borough President, please.
Thank you. And what a great day to be in Queens. And of course, Junction Boulevard is finally renewed, rejuvenated, and certainly the MTA is going our way today. So I want to thank, of course, our Transit President, Richard Davey. Thank you for your partnership and all of your hard work to Demetrius, LaSalle, of course, to our partners in government, Assemblymember Jessica Gonzalez-Rojas. We cannot do this work without the support of the State Assembly. So I want to thank you for your partnership of investing and pushing for investments in Queens as well. And as it was said, this is just one of the many stations that have already received a facelift in Queens this year, thanks to the MTA's Re-NEW-vation initiative to make our train stations cleaner and safer. And standing here at one of the Queens' busiest stations, I have to say that I'm really proud to see this place completed. And of course, to the workers, thank you. If you saw what it was before, you know what it is now. Started from the bottom, now we're here. And I know I speak for the thousands of people who use the 7 train every day when I say that this makes a world of a difference to commute in a clean station. And let me also talk about where we're at as we talk about transit equity. Your socioeconomic status, your zip code, your status should not be a determinant on whether you have a good and clean station. We can have nice things in Queens and not just on 42nd Street. I just had to say it, Richard. Y'all could clap for that. But more than just visual upgrades, the MTA is putting in the work to make our trains more reliable as well, because all New Yorkers deserve to enjoy safe, clean, and welcoming commutes. We must continue to do this work together to ensure that our train system not only looks good, but also runs well. And we must continue that work together to upgrade every single station in Queens, especially the Worldsboro. And because New Yorkers deserve to feel invested in whenever they descend or ascend into their neighborhood subway station. And we know that by upgrading and cleaning up our mass transit stations, we'll also see that continuous boost in tourism in places like Corona and Jackson Heights. Ridership will go up the more people see true and concrete investments into our stations. And as you can see today, I have no doubt about it. I hope to see every subway stop in Queens receive their upgrades in the coming months. I know we said another 50. We want at least 49 of those. All right, congratulations. Good job, MTA. Thank you to all the workers who made this possible.
I think that requires us to build more stations in Queens, but I think that was the subtext. That's all right. I said it before that we would not be here without the governor and the legislature's leadership, and I just cannot emphasize this enough. Our colleagues in Chicago and Atlanta and Los Angeles and Boston and Washington, D.C. are all saying, we wish we had the kind of leadership and thoughtfulness that you have in New York. We are adding service. We have free bus routes we are running. We're doing small and important work like this. And if you go up and down the 7 line, we have station work happening, and a few other stations, you are right, Borough President, that require this work. But we are able to do it because we've been given the resources to do that. And certainly in my time, I have never seen a more financially stable MTA, and that's because of the work of our governor and the legislature and an incredible leader in the Assembly. I want to welcome the Assembly member to come up and say a few words. We are delighted to be in your neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Buenos dias. Welcome to District 34 in Junction Boulevard Station. I'm so happy to have you all here, and I'm so thrilled to look around at the fresh coat of paint and what I thought was a new floor, but apparently it was just like deep wash and desperately needed that. So this is so exciting to be here. My name is Assembly Member Jessica Gonzalez Rojas. I use she, her, and pronouns. And in 2005, I was nominated and approved to serve on the New York City Transit Riders Council, which is part of the Permanent Citizens Advisory Committee. What is that? That is something where they nominate and appoint everyday New Yorkers who use the train to be transit advocates. I was not an elected official in 2005, but I use the subway and the buses every single day for all aspects of my life. And I was able to be a rider advocate and able to uplift the issues that were impacting particularly Queens riders. So it is an immense honor now, years later, I'm not going to do the math, to be able to be in this capacity as a New York State Assembly member to fight for the system that I depend on, that my family depends on, and that my community depends on. We stand amongst a community that is immigrant, that is working class, that is low income, and that desperately needs this train to run to get them to fulfill their life's duties and needs. And it is because of the listening that the MTA has done that has gotten us to this place of making the station beautiful. My constituents deserve a beautiful station. My constituents deserve a peaceful and safe ride, and they should be able to do so with dignity and with affordability. And that's why I fought so hard to make sure we could pull us off the fiscal cliff, make sure that we were reducing the amount of the fare raise, and ultimately fight for a free bus route. And we're not going to stop fighting until we get all free buses. But this is such a boost to our economy. It's a boost to tourism in New York City. I will continue to fight to make sure that our stations get to being fully handicap accessible. That is the next fight for our next capital budget. We need to make sure that happens. But until then, I am just immensely grateful to Rich, to the full MTA team, and especially the workers. Shout out to the workers. Hold up your hard hats, folks. Hold up your hard hats. This job is not easy, and you're here every day. Thank you. Thank you for treating us with the dignity and respect that our community deserves and making the station so beautiful. So congratulations to the Re-NEW-vation. I love that name. I look forward again to the next round of stations to be supported, and I will be here to fight alongside you and ensure that we're adequately funding the MTA and we're getting continued immense service in the world-class city that we are. Thank you so much.
Assemblymember Gonzalez Ross, thank you. I think at this point we're happy to take questions. Sure, just the end of the line. Yeah, just as Tim mentioned, just one thing I do want to mention is we had an incident at our end of the line operation the other night. I just want to give out a shout out to the NYPD who are here, who helped an employee, one of our employees who was being harassed by some deranged individual and was able to be apprehended. So again, I think it's just indicative of the partnership that we have with NYPD on our end of lines, but all over the system. And we're, again, grateful for that continued partnership. So I think that we'll take questions.
All right, so questions, and then we know how much you love surprises. We've got one
Oh,
for you.
wow.
Questions? CBS2 right here.
Hi, I
Hi.
have a question about the R train incident.
About which?
The R train incident last week. How was this individual able to have a piece of wood and hang it outside of a train while it was moving?
Yeah, I don't know, but I can tell you this. We have a picture of that clown, and we're going to catch that person. Anyone who's menacing our employees or our customers, in this case, the customers, it's completely outrageous. So, I don't know how they did it. I probably have a sense of, so I'm not going to describe it because I don't want copycats, but I will tell you, we have a picture of this person. We will find this person, and I'll be shocked if this person isn't what they say in this business, known to police.
All right, anybody else? Questions? All right, then we're going to go right to surprises.
Surprises, wonderful.
People love surprises.
We love surprises. Go
All
ahead.
right, I think the folks over here have something to show you.
Oh, cool. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And this is David Solomon from the Subway's Transit Department.
So, Rich, I'm happy to present to President Davey this frame on behalf of our team members and our customers on this special occasion. This project holds a special place in our hearts, and it's only fitting that the 50th Re-NEW-vation happens here in Queens, the world's borough.
And who signed this, David? Do you want to?
So this banner, we take it around with us to each Re-NEW-vation, and it's signed by every team member that's worked on all these projects with us.
Wow.
Which one signed a Daffy Duck? I see that on there.
That was Demetrius Critchlow, sir. He's right here. All right, everybody. Thank you very. Whoa. What happened?
Wait, one more.
Apparently,
One more,
there's
just,
another
one more
surprise.
thing. We have another surprise for you, Rich. Gentlemen, we have one more surprise. We have a special. You have to blow out candles. Rich.
This one requires fire.
Yeah. Rich, we want you back at the podium. Okay, good.
All right, here we go. Can we see what that looks like?
Excellent. Should we blow it out or? Wonderful. All right, here's to 50 more.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Which one? Oh, for that thing. Which one? Oh, for that thing.